Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Death Wish Hot Rods and Customs. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack Podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is Odorous from Guam.
Going to battle Fear Factory.
This is George Corsh Runner Fisher.
This is Gas from Devil Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Mike Nick from Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is
Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Lee from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack Podcast.
Chalky, how you going, brother?
How you going, man? Yeah, good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Thanks
Excellent.
for joining us on the show, finally. I know it's taken a little while.
Nah, it's all good, man. Thanks for having me, eh?
No worries, no worries. It looks like you were having a busy day with filming and getting down with it.
Yeah. We were filming for Andy's song today, and we were doing the vocals. So we were doing all his vocal shots, and we started out like driving to Mount Nebo to like Jolly's Lookout, and there's like this like little 3 kilometer like walking circuit you can do there. And I did it a few months back with a bunch of friends, and I remember it being like very jungly. So I was like, I got to capture some like Vietnam sort of looking jungle stuff. And it's really hard around Australia, of course, because it's all just sort of like bush and gum trees and stuff. But sure enough, this one spot, like we kept walking for a bit. We're like, it's looking more bush. And then after a while, it became Vietnam and like this one little corner. And we're like, we just filmed there for like 3 hours, and we got him in like the jungle, like, you know, stretching around, like singing the song and like dressed up all this shit. And yeah, so we did a big shoot today. Yeah, so
That looked
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yeah.
Like he's got his aviators on and his.
Yeah, he looked like Lemmy, like kind of with the beard and everything. He kind of looked like fucking Lemmy and shit. He looked so badass. Like it turned out really cool. And I had Mike from Blood of Lannisters like filming it as well, because he's got like a really like serious good setup on camera stuff. So me and him were just like, you know, getting there filming, and we got like fucking 10, 20 takes. So yeah, really.
Well, that's
stuff,
awesome.
So.
Well, shout out to Andy. Where are you? Is he out there in space somewhere? Hey,
I can know, man.
Hey, awesome dude. But of course, we're talking about your debut solo project, Militaria. Militaria is how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah, Militaria.
Yeah.
So people say Militaria.
Yeah, I know. It's like potato, you know, but you got to say it right.
Yeah,
Metal.
That's it. Militaria.
But it's been received like really, really well, man. The album Remains with Pain. It's just really, really fucking good, dude. Like,
thanks very much.
I remember seeing updates like you're posting about it and during the creation and everything like that, and it was really interesting to see that process from just pictures and stuff. Now it's out. It's been out for what a month or something now.
Yeah, about a month and about 6 weeks. Yeah,
going well, but hey.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty well received so far, and I haven't done too much promotion on it. I just sort of put it out, and you know, it's gone through word of mouth and you know, getting around. But you know, putting it on like Spotify and stuff, and like just on the internet in general, I think like because when people see like a flashy album cover and it says full album on YouTube and it's, you know, thrashy, and you know, it obviously the album cover speaks what it is, you know, people just check it out. And then, you know, sure enough, you know, every week I'm sort of like Googling it once in a while, just seeing how it's going, and you know, more and more people like posting it on forums and like Instagram and stuff, and it's just it's slowly getting out there. And I think, I had a lyric video for Huey, which was Liam from Idle Room. He did the vocals on that one, and so I put that out as like the launch sort of video, you know, a bit of a lyric video. But I now, of course, I'm now like shooting a full like cinematic like music video to really try and push it. So, yeah. But so far so good. It's doing really well. So
that's awesome, dude. Yeah. It's been great to sort of watch, you know, and see it there and people sharing it and everything like that. But of course, I mean, you're known as a drummer with your work with, you know, Odius and Deraign and
Deraign, yep.
Mate, and the project started with an EP a couple of years ago. How did it come about that you just went, I'm gonna make a solo?
So I started the project about 2010 because I was doing TAFE, I was doing like audio production and all that. So I had like Pro Tools and everything, and you know, I've been playing guitar for a few years, and I always wanted to write my own stuff, and start a thrash band, and this is like a couple of years before Deraign came about. But I just always wanted to do thrash because, you know, like when I first got into metal, it was, you know, Metallica, and, you know, started learning drums, and guitar came along after that, soon after that. And I was pretty much self-taught on guitar, but you know, drums had lessons, and I mainly focused on drums, but guitar was sort of in the background. But over the years, I started really getting into just writing, and eventually I was like, all right, I'm going to do like a little project. And the only things I really lacked in over the years that I couldn't really quite get was just the vocal delivery and like soloing. And I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool to like do like a little project where like I have a whole album that's like musically written by me, but then I have all these guest vocals and solos come in. So over the years, I wrote this thing, and I think within 3 to 4 years, I had it wrote, and then I just started asking everyone around, like, you know, do you want to be on it? You know, do vocals and sing about war and you know, do some shreds. And it even came as late as like last year. I was still getting some people to get on it, and like my boys from Odius are all over it. Like Luke is like on like 4 or 5 songs, like vocally, like where he's doing backup vocals or solos, you know. So yeah, he's like on half the album, and you know, Sam's on there, and of course, yeah, there's plenty of other people from the scene, like, you know, Andy from Wartooth and Asylum boys, and yeah, so yeah, it's
awesome, dude. It's awesome to see.
But yeah,
put into it, you know.
And then of course I forgot to mention that the EP, like, so over time, you know, I got through like some, you know, life, you know, things came up like traveling and all that sort of thing. And I sort of put it on hold for a little while, but the EP was like something I wrote in the span of like six months to a year, because I fell in love with Vector's what's the album? Terminal Redux by Vector. I just listened to that album like religiously for like a month, and I was like, I just want to write something like that. So I put a capo on my guitar and wrote an F tuning, and pumped this like little EP thing out, like this instrumental thing, and I wanted to put it out to stamp the band name Militaria so that no one would really take it. So yeah, that's how that came about. So I just wanted to put something out and be like, all right, I've got the name there, now I can get this album done. And yeah, so here we are.
Here it is, man. Here it is. And it's set in Vietnam for this one.
So yeah, this one's like a sort of a concept album on Vietnam, because what Militaria really was inspired by was Sodom's Agent Orange and like M16, you know, sort of that concept of Vietnam. And I got really like into like the whole war, and like watching all the movies and everything and reading about it, and just it's the fact that like there's still things happening like this to this day from 50 years ago from like Agent Orange and stuff, like all the birth defects. It's just ridiculous, you know, and a lot of people have just forgotten about it, don't think of it anymore, and it's still something that I just felt like needed to sort of come up, because it's like it's just such a fascinating war, and just so much crazy stuff happened. And I don't know, I just felt like I really needed to do my own sort of version of Agent Orange, I guess.
There you go. And I mean, how far did you go into sort of researching it and stuff before you put it down on the?
Probably enough that I was like got a bit of a basic understanding, but it's also kind of just taps into war in general too. So a lot of the songs are about just war in general. Like Andy's songs about like the obsession of like killing, kind of like where like you're kind of scared to shoot at first and kill someone, but after you get that sort of taste for it, some people like thrive on it and like just want to do it more and more, to the point where they just, you know, they don't feel anything about killing people. And yeah, so it's like it sort of dives into just sort of more like other war topics, but yeah, it does touch on like, you know, napalm and Agent Orange and all that, and Hueys that were like introduced into the war and all that. So yeah.
What about the production? You took care of all the production, didn't you?
Yeah, so yeah, as I said, I did a course in audio production, and over the years, I actually wanted that to be like something I got into, was like audio recording and recording bands and stuff. But slowly over time, I found that filming was more what I wanted to do. So now I'm pushing for that. But I still have enough like gear and understanding to sort of record my own thing, and so yeah, I kind of wanted to do it in like a sort of cheap way, because I wanted to sort of like gain like sort of try and make it like an old school sort of album. Like I wanted to have like this old school approach where it sounds a bit dirty and raw, but like sort of polished up a little bit. But like I did like no click. I recorded it, you know, I tried to like capture just like a live energy. Because like a lot of music today, I love a lot of music today, but like I find that a lot of it like is missing that old school element where it's like it's just too precise, too you know, to like you listen to like early Cannibal Corpse and it's just all over the shop. It's like derailing, but it's still like staying on the tracks, you know. And I just wanted to capture that. Like I listened to a lot of that, like early Seps, and just I just really wanted to capture like that, just off the rails sort of vibe. And you know, I actually did go through with some of the tracks and like marked out like all the click track, like where like what the timings were, and it's like it goes from like 220 back to like 210, but then it goes up to 230, and it's just constantly like, oh, it's crazy. But it was just what I wanted to do. I just wanted to capture like this live thing and make it old school. So yeah, I recorded and mixed it and mastered it, all myself.
You've definitely captured that. Like that's the thing I got from it. It sounds like a genuine thrash, you know, love letter to thrash, like the real
pretty much.
Yeah, you know, it's got that sound, and it's raw, and it's got that live sound to it as well, which you're right. A lot of I'm impressed when bands go back and do stuff like that. So well done, man. And talking about the guests on the album, you know, you've got members of Wartooth, as you said, Odius, Asylum, Idle Ruin, Bone Marrow, Deraign, a bunch of others. But how was it wrangling everybody for the project? Because it's not just 2 or 3 people. It's like, this is the project. You're bringing everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I moved to Brisbane about 9-10 months ago now, and most of these people were Brisbane based. So I slowly started before COVID. I slowly started like getting everyone in and doing it, and like I kind of just kept going up to Brisbane recording and all that. But when I finally decided to move to Brisbane during late last year, I got to Brisbane. I'm like, all right, I'm here. I'm ready to just tackle it and get it done. And one by one, every weekend, I just had like people locked in, you know, on my calendar, and we just got it done. We set bass up in the Odious shed where I jam, and you know, we converted it into like a little like studio, and I was borrowing all their gear. And thanks Odious guys. I keep thanking them because it was huge to get it done. You know, like we just got it done. It took about 2 or 3 months to finally get everyone together and just get it done. But yeah, that's how I did it. So bit of a process, but and some people of course did it like from home. Like I've got Jimmy from Mason, he did a solo on one of the songs, so he could do it from his house, and yeah, a few others on there. So yeah. But,
how was it that last moment, that very last moment that you knew that it was getting in the can? You know what I mean?
it was incredible. Like I had one solo left, and it was literally the last solo on the last song of the whole album. And I had like 2 people lined up to try and get it done, and they weren't meeting like time requirements. And I just was like, I got to get this done. You have no idea. I just need it done. Yep. It's almost there. Just help me out. So I threw up like a little competition on my Facebook for like a week, and I just said, hey, look, anyone who submits a solo on this, you know, I'll pick from the best one. And I had Glenn Donovan, who used to be like he used to be in like what's the band? Just trying to think now. But he was in like Death Grip, and he helped out with Caustic Attack on their Indonesian tour. But yeah, I've known him for a good while. Mouthiest, he used to be a Mouthiest years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was even in Chronolith for a little while in the early days too. But yeah, so he saw the email, and he didn't tell me about it or anything. He literally just laid down the solo, and then I woke up on the day that it was due, and he's like, all right, I've sent the solo, and I listened to it. I'm like, that's it. It's done. It's the solo. You've won. Like you're the only one that submitted, but that was all I needed, was just that last piece of the puzzle. And when I sat down and finally listened to the whole thing, I was in tears by the end of it. I was like, oh my God, it's finally done. 10 years of just, you know, I've closed the book, you know.
That
But then I had to go through, but then I had to go through like 3 months of like listening to the album, like through like so many different mixes. So by the end of that, I was like kind of sick of it, but at the same time, I was still like really happy that I was like, yes, I finally got it done. So.
And you played your first show last month, I believe it was a Flaming Galah.
Yes.
The night before we played.
Yes. So I did like, yeah. So we did like a little album launch, and I didn't want to do just like a CD playback, you know, because not people wouldn't really take any notice. So I was like, well, I've never played guitar on stage. I'd love to jump up and, you know, jump around on guitar for the whole, and I ended up playing the whole album like from front to back, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had also some of the guests come up, like some of the singers like Luke from Odious and Andy and stuff. They all came up and did their vocals as well. So it was kind of like this cool little like, you know, guest starring sort of show. It was just a lot of fun, and it went off. There was like a lot of people there, so it was really, really fun.
I saw the photos. I was so bummed. I wanted to go. I was like, oh man,
yeah,
it looked like
there were so many people that wanted to. It was just on a weird night, I think, because there was like another gig the night after that, and yeah, it was just in a weird time. But I just had to do it. I was like, Mousy, book me a show. Just let's make it happen. So,
are you wanting to do more? Or have you booked any more?
I was like, as soon as I'd done that, my partner just said to me, like, you should go and do like this in other states, like, you know, around like Adelaide and Melbourne and all that. So I've hit up all these people, but COVID lately has just come striking back, and you know, it's been really hard to sort of make it happen. I had Sydney almost locked in for, I think, October or something, but it's just not looking good. And so I've kind of put it on a bit of a hold for a while, but maybe in the new year I'll see how it goes. Like, I'm studying next year, so I'll see how it goes. But I'd love to like do it maybe once every 6 months or something, just get up and do it. But I'm hoping eventually I'll bring like a full band to the mix, and we can try and do like a full like live show. But yeah, it won't be anything too serious. It'll just be like a one-off sort of thing here and there, and yeah, be a lot of fun.
Man, what about Gold Coast, man? We're just down the fucking road. You know?
No, I gotta play my almost hometown because I lived there for 20 years. But yeah, it'd be nice to go down to the Goldie and yeah, maybe just do a Goldie show. Like, I'll play against the backing track for, you know, an hour. So that'd be a lot of fun.
Vinny's.
Yes. Vinny's does a lot of, like, I've only played there once on bass with Idle when I was filming in for them. Yeah. I've only played there. But I haven't played there on drums or anything, so it'd be kind of funny to play there on guitar and then finally maybe play with Odius one day and be like, well, I played here before, but not on drums, so it'd be fun.
I remember that. I was at that gig and I looked over, I was like, what? And you're doing the Scott Ian, the stomp?
Yeah.
I loved it. I was like, everyone was like, mate, there's nothing this dude can't do. It was awesome. That was awesome. So you got to do it again.
That was fun.
You got to do it again.
Yeah, man.
All right.
It's hard this time for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen. Yeah. I should try and look into doing it. It'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Count us in. Count us in, dude. Count us in. But of course, I mean, did I read that there was a doco, or you filmed a bunch of the process?
Yeah, I am putting together a doco. I'm still sort of piecing it together. But yeah, I'm doing like a little sort of, because I filmed like the guests like doing their parts, and you know, I filmed all the drumming process like way back like 4 or 5 years ago, and you know, I just kind of want to like make a little story thing. So yeah, it'd be like a 20-30 minute like doco video that I want to like put together, and just sort of tell how it all came to be and go through full lengths of it, and yeah, so. Because a lot of these songs went through a lot of processes of changes, and some of them are like almost the same as what the demo was. Like, we're back in 2014 with like electric drums and stuff going. It's almost the same song. So I'm like blown away when I found all that the other week. I was like curious to see how those demos sounded from way back. A lot of the songs were kind of same, but some would change like heaps. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to find all that stuff.
How far along is that? How far along's the doco?
Well, I'm just trying to get the music video done first. I want to push that out as like another big promo piece. But then after that, yeah, I'll probably try and sort of close the book on this album with that doco and just finally have one last like hurrah with it. And then yeah, I'll be straight on the album too, like probably by the end of the year, hopefully next year. So
that's sick.
Because I've got so much material there sitting there. Because that's probably that's one of the main reasons why I want to get this album done, is because I've so much material sitting there ready for like another 2 albums almost, and I just want to start pumping it out. So,
where's the next one going to take you? I mean, you've done Vietnam.
So the next one, I think I'm going to make it very open. So I want it to like sort of dive into like any war, you know, any subject around war. Like, I've already told a few people that I want on there. Like I've hit up Gene from Puncture Wound. I definitely want him on there.
Yeah,
and he talked about doing something. He wants to do like a subject of like something that happened during World War II that wasn't war related, but it was like something that happened, like experiments and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, some like outside stuff, but it's still relevant to war somehow. So yeah, I don't want it to be just themed on like one particular one. I want it to like explore and go places. But yeah, I want to try and do like at least 10, 12 tracks for this one and have more people that are local, but also start going out towards the country a bit more. And yeah, and then my third album I'm already thinking about too. And I want to go like, after listening to Vector, I'm like, man, thrash needs to go into like new elements, new places. So my third album is going to be like this like Broadway musical thrash, like classical orchestral thing, like operatic thing I want to try and piece together. So that one's going to take a little longer. I want to like try and get some keyboards and stuff in there, and probably get some like crazy like singers that come in and, you know, do like sort of stuff. But yeah, I want to try and like push for something different and new that thrash hasn't really touched on before, because it's a genre that's done so much, and it's I fucking still love it today, but there's areas that I think it could still like be touched on and explored that haven't been. And after listening to Vector's Terminal Redux and all that soul singing and that's going on, and 13-minute songs that are just epic masterpieces, I'm like, there's definitely more room to explore on this. So
Absolutely,
especially these days. So
yeah, man. I mean, you've got to push that envelope a little bit.
That's it.
I'm all for it, man. All for it. But I mean, you've done like heaps of video work and stuff with other people too, you know, with Mosh Riff Creative. So I mean, so it's incredible work. How's that all going? Is that keeping you busy as well?
Yeah, it's been really, really good. I just like hit 50 jobs the other day, and I've had this business now for 2 years. Literally, like in a few days, it'll hit 2 years. But yeah, I've done like at least 50 different pieces of work over the last 2 years, and yeah, it's been a wild ride. You know, like I've done plenty of lyric videos, and it's funny because I literally started the business from doing a lyric video, because I had a band called Vexation hit me up, and they're freaking amazing, by the way. They're a really good band from Victoria, and they literally just hit me up and they're like, "Can you do lyric videos?" I'm like, "I don't know, I'll give it a shot." And I actually watched it back, and I'm like, wow, actually, like, I haven't changed too much since then. Like I pretty much like straight away like knew what I was doing, and I've probably done close to probably 30 to 40 lyric videos now. Like it's crazy the amount of, I can't even think about how many I've done, but I've definitely seen myself get, you know, crazier with them over time. But yeah, just been doing those. I've done a few music videos. I've done plenty of gig posters and all that. So yeah, it's really coming along, and you know, I'm going to study next year, and I hope to just push that, but also maybe just find my way into like filming, God knows what, like movies or, you know, news or whatever, anything. Just get my like foot into like working in the film industry and stuff. So
is that where you're studying? Is that where you're going to go study?
Yeah, so I'm studying film. Hopefully, I don't know what place I'm looking at, but I'm probably thinking SEA, and they're like based in West End, and they've got like this full like filming course, and I can either do 1 year or 3 years, and I'm probably itching towards more 3 years because it looks like a really hands-on course. So, but I'm so open to doing anything in it. But at the same time, it's cool that I can like, even if I get a full-time job doing something and just filming on the side, I can still do all this like band stuff. I can still do my little business, because I mean, I just love doing it. I love helping bands out with videos and all that, because it's something I've always done. I've always, you know, I've got like an 8-seater car now that I want to like help drive bands around, and I've already driven a few bands already, like Shatterbrain and Hindered Intent. You know, like I just want to like, I've always been there to try and help bands. I go to gigs all the time and mosh around and, you know, try and stir the pit up. And I've been overseas like with Mason to Canada and Japan and done all this crazy stuff. So yeah, just I'm always trying to help bands. But I over the like last couple of years, especially with COVID, I'm like, all right, I've got to like try and get a decent job because I'm sick of office work. So yeah,
it's got to be.
I just want to. Yeah, I just want to get like a job that doesn't feel like a job, basically. So
that's it. Yeah. That's it. Is it? Yeah. You're talking about the 18? Is that the Kia Carnival?
Yeah.
That's like,
so it's like an 8-seater. Yeah,
mate. That's why I want to get one. Everyone keeps going, what do you want? What man? I just see everyone that's got one. It's so sick.
It is.
You know,
you can fit your drums in there, and then yeah. I drive the whole band. Like when Odius has gigs, I just put us all in that one van and they're off to a gig. So I don't know. It's you know. And then if I have kids someday, I can take them to soccer practice. Like, you know,
I've got kids, I got grandbabies, and I got
that's
dog,
it.
And I got you know,
more than enough excuse to get one.
That's it. This is it. Yep. Is she a smooth ride? Is she nice to drive?
Yep. It's a little heavy on the fuel and the cost of fuel, but I read into that and I was like, well, I'm willing to pay that price if it means I can drive heaps of us around. And you know, I take it, as I was saying before, I do like metal hikes with like my good mates, and I make these events on Facebook. So I keep throwing it out there, like, yeah, you know, 7 people can jump in, you know, give me $10 of fuel and we'll go and hike a mountain. And you know, all these other people just turn up, and we do those like every 4 to 6 weeks. So yeah. But yeah, ever since I got that car, it's just been like so cool. I've just done so much with it, and I just can't wait for.
I'm gonna take this snippet. I'm gonna show my wife.
Do it. It's like, yeah, it's honestly like it only costs like, because it's second hand, but yeah, it costs like $9,000, but it's the best investment I think I've ever made.
That's awesome.
It's better than driving around a Commodore. So I drove that around for nothing. And I did trips to the Goldie in Brisbane back every weekend for like 8 years straight in that thing, and I just absolutely killed it. And yeah, I was like, a time for upgrade, and I was like, no, I got to get something that's like way more like hands on with the band stuff. And yeah,
see, there you go. But but I mean,
any more excuse to get one? But yeah, there you go.
As I said, I'm going to take this snippet. But dad van.
That's it.
Band,
dad van. Yeah.
But of course, I mean, Odious. How's that all going?
Oh, Odious is going really well, man. Yeah, we so we put an EP out early this year, and you talk with the guys, of course, and yeah, we've just been like trying to just chase more gigs lately, and we've got so many like songs sitting there, like because Sam and Luke have like written so many songs, and we're just trying to like go through the process of like slowly learning them while still gigging, and I think eventually we want to record like another EP and just get like another 4 or 5 tracks on another EP. But we also have King Parrot like coming up, but we still don't know if it's going to happen just because of lockdowns and all that. But we were just like blown away. We got that. Like I've been dying to play with King Parrot for so many years, so just getting that was just like awesome. I just hope it's delayed, not cancelled. So, yeah, touch wood. Yeah. I mean, it could still happen. I don't know. Like it's hard to tell. It's only 2 weeks away, but yeah. So we got that, and like we got Stalker from New Zealand coming in September. Hopefully they come in September. But yeah, we got that as well, and you know we're just chasing any gig we can, and we did like a little tour of North Queensland in early June, and yeah, we're just trying to play as many shows as we can while we can, and what we can play and what we can do. So yeah, we're just keeping busy. We jam like 2 times a week in the shed, so because the boys have it there, like a shed down the back that's like converted into like this soundproof jam room, and yeah, we just go in there and bash it out 2 times a week. So yeah.
How's it touring North Queensland?
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was really fun. Townsville went off. That was really cool. Cairns was on a Sunday night, so it was like that was all right. But Townsville was freaking awesome. That was the first time I'd played like almost live open air, because it was like outside, and I've like never actually played outside. So like it blew my mind when I saw the stage. I'm like, hang on, we're outside. This is freaking awesome. I've never done this before. So yeah, there was like probably 40, 50 people there. It was really cool. Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's just different. Like playing in a town is like different to a city. Like yeah, it's just really different vibe, and really friendly people there, and yeah, just went off.
My very first gig over 20 years ago was open air on the back of a truck. And
that's fucking sick.
It was, and then it turned into a massive brawl. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, yeah. It got crashed by a bunch of homeboys from Deraign.
Wow.
Like,
okay, yeah, right.
Of them. And it all started because it went up to my guitarist's guitar pedal while he was playing, and punched his pedal, and then he swung, and it was like the swarm. But I just remember being like, back of a truck. I was like, that's cool.
That's fucking rad. I've always wanted to do that. I've seen a few bands do that. Like they play in a truck, and it's like, oh, that's so cool.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be so good.
Yeah, I was a young lad, but yeah, not anymore.
Oh,
but of course, what else is next for you, brother?
Yeah, so I think I pretty much said everything. Odious has just got some really cool gigs coming up. Like we got Shred Fest, so that I'm sure that'll happen if we're in the good. And we got like Ye Gods and a few other like festivals coming up. Moondole in September. So we're keeping busy with Odious. Militaria. I'm just getting this music video together, and we've got like one more shoot to go. We're just filming like some army like story arc stuff. So we're gonna get a bunch of us out with some camo gear on and get shot and all that, so that should be a lot of fun. It's pretty much it. It's just getting that out, and then I'll just get straight on the album too and try and demo that out by the end of the year, and maybe try and record and have it out by mid to end of next year. And yeah, I think Odius, we'll probably look at recording soon for a demo, another EP. So
yeah,
it's all busy.
busy, bro. And you know what? I'm stoked for you. You're a damn good dude. And
thanks, man.
Way, man.
You're a legend too, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks. But of course,
man.
We'll have all the links down here. So go and get it, guys. If you haven't already, buy some merch. You still got the shirts up?
Yeah, I've still got a few shirts, and I've got plenty of CDs, so it's all happening.
Do it. Yeah, Chalky, bro. Hey, cheers to you, my man. Thank you for hanging.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me, eh?